Every mystery leaves a trail. Every trail hides a secret. Welcome to the Mystery Threshold.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to methodically break down the chilling forensic evidence and the major investigative breakthroughs that finally stopped Rodney Alcala's cross-country crime spree. We're going to look really closely at how law enforcement and forensic science pieced together this massive puzzle of evidence to catch one of the most prolific, deceptive predators in American history. Let's get right into it.
We have to begin with just a horrifying reality. Imagine this. It's 1978, and right in the middle of a brutal murder spree, a serial killer actually wins a date on national television. Rodney Alcala appeared on the hit show The Dating Game, totally charming the audience with his long hair and his wide smile. But the Bachelorette, Cheryl Bradshaw, sensed something deeply wrong. Her keen intuition literally saved her life. She refused to go on the date with him, citing these really weird vibes coming off of him. This moment perfectly encapsulates the terrifying duality of our subject today.
Section 1. Hiding in plain sight. The two faces of Rodney Alcala.
To understand this investigation, you really have to understand how well this man could blend in. Look at the jarring contrast between the charming bachelor persona he presented to the public and the grim reality of his criminal record. Back in 1968, he had brutally assaulted an 8-year-old girl named Tali Shapiro in Los Angeles and then fled to New York. By 1971, he was actually on the FBI's most wanted list. Astonishingly, while he was working as a camp counselor up in New Hampshire under the alias John Berger, two young campers recognized his face from a wanted poster at the local post office. No way, right? That single poster led to his first major arrest, but as we're going to see, the system repeatedly failed to keep him behind bars.
Section 2. A coast-to-coast spree, exploiting the system.
If we follow his movements from California to New York and back, it reveals a terrifying pattern. He evaded permanent justice for years just by crossing state lines and using aliases like John Berger. Even after being caught for that 1968 assault, the victim's family had moved to Mexico and couldn't testify. So that led to a reduced charge and a shockingly short sentence of just 34 months. He was paroled, offended again, served 2 more years, and then got paroled again in 1977. This transient lifestyle, combined with the total lack of cross-state database communication back then, gave him a massive, deadly advantage.
Section 3. Crucial physical evidence. The investigator's notebook.
The real turning point in stopping Alcala wasn't a confession. It was the physical evidence left at the scenes. Investigators started finding very specific, horrific physical evidence tying these seemingly individual tragedies directly to Alcala. Just look at the variety of clues here. In New York, 23-year-old Ellen Jane Hover went missing. Well, investigators found a datebook in her apartment showing an appointment with a John Berger, which, remember, was Alcala's known alias, on the exact day she vanished. Then, over in Los Angeles, 18-year-old Jill Terry Barcombe was found murdered. Investigators documented specific bite marks and these unique blue rope ties. Shortly after that, 27-year-old Georgia Marie Wickstead was discovered in our Malibu apartment. Her killer had bashed in her skull, but he made a critical error. He left a bloody handprint behind. On top of all this, investigators noted the bodies were being found in carefully chosen posed positions, revealing a distinct and terrifying signature.
Additional critical breakthroughs came as the violence escalated. In 1979, the killer forced entry into the Burbank apartment of Jill Marie Parenteau. As he crawled through a broken window, he cut himself, leaving a single drop of his own blood. Then came the tragic disappearance of 12-year-old Robin Christine Samso in Huntington Beach. Her friends told police a stranger had approached them on the beach, asking to take their pictures. From their descriptions, police generated a sketch. And here's where the net really starts to close. Alcala's own parole officer saw that sketch and immediately recognized him.
Section 4. The Seattle Storage Locker, a hidden cache of guilt.
Now this part is wild. In 1979, police found a Seattle storage locker rented by Alcala. Inside, they found a seemingly insignificant pair of earrings. Years passed, but that evidence was preserved. Decades later, cold case investigators used advanced DNA testing and actually found residue on those earrings, perfectly matching a 1978 murder victim, Charlotte Lamb. When Alcala, who incredibly decided to represent himself in court, tried to claim the earrings were actually his own, prosecutors called on Jed Mills. Mills was the man who competed against Alcala on The Dating Game. He testified that men simply didn't wear earrings back in 1978, completely dismantling Alcala's defense in just a stunning courtroom moment.
Section 5. The photographic trove.
weaponizing the camera.
We absolutely have to examine how Alcala used this hobby to lure and hunt his victims. It wasn't just a side interest, it was his primary tool for access. Upon his arrest, investigators uncovered a horrifying collection of over 1,000 photographs. Alcala would approach women, teenage girls, and even boys, convincing them he was a professional fashion photographer building a portfolio. This false sense of professional legitimacy allowed him to manipulate his victims into secluded areas, often in sexually explicit poses.
The sheer volume of these images was just staggering. While around 900 photos were deemed way too sexually explicit to ever release, police took the unprecedented step in 2010 of releasing 120 of the less graphic images to the public, hoping to identify potential unknown victims. And you know what? The strategy worked. Relatives recognized a dark-haired woman in a yellow shirt sitting on a motorcycle. It was Christine Thornton, a pregnant woman who had vanished in 1977. Thanks to that photo release, DNA later matched her remains found in Wyoming, resolving the mystery and successfully closing a decades-old cold case.
Because of this massive photographic trove, his cross-country movements, and his long periods of unmonitored activity, authorities estimate his true total victim count could potentially be as high as 130 lives lost. He's honestly one of the most prolific serial killers in American history, often compared to Ted Bundy in his cruelty and manipulation.
Section 6. DNA seals the fate, closing the net.
Finally, we need to explore the ultimate forensic tool that permanently brought the dating game killer to justice. While early detective work connected the dots, it was the undeniable truth of biology that sealed the cage. See, Alcala was a master of exploiting legal loopholes. In fact, his death penalty conviction for the murder of 12-year-old Robin Samsoe was overturned on technicalities not once, but twice. First in 1984 and again in 2003. He really thought he was going to walk free again. But a new California state law mandated DNA sampling for incarcerated felons. Over Alcala's fierce objections, a sample was taken, and that DNA provided an airtight, perfect match to semen found at the brutal 1970s crime scenes of victims like Jill Barcombe, Georgia Wixted, Charlotte Lamb, and Jill Parentipo.
The sheer, undeniable weight of this evidence, from the New York datebooks to the bloody handprint in Malibu, to the earrings in the Seattle storage locker, and finally, those definitive DNA matches, resulted in a rock-solid third conviction. In 2010, a jury sentenced him to death for 5 California murders. Faced with similar irrefutable evidence in New York, he pleaded guilty in 2013 to the murders of Cornelia Crilly and Ellen Jane Hover. Rodney Alcala would never walk free again, eventually dying of natural causes in 2021 at the age of 77 on California's death row.
As we wrap up this explainer, we're left to grapple with a truly chilling question. How many lives could have been saved if the systems designed to track predators hadn't let them slip away? The investigation into Rodney Alcala showcases the incredible evolution and power of forensic science. From handwritten datebooks all the way to microscopic DNA. But it also serves as a haunting reminder of the failures of a fractured 1970s parole and justice system that allowed a violent monster to repeatedly hide in plain sight, even smiling at us through our television screens. What are your takeaways from this incredible investigative timeline? Keep this question in mind as you think about how far our criminal justice tracking systems have come and how far they still have to go.